What is going on, Scoop fam, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Scoop. In today's video, we are going to be covering the massive news out from Instagram, allowing users to mint and sell NFTs on the platform, Yuga Labs broadening their ambition to become the most accessible metaverse in existence, and Binance partnering with Ledger to step up overall crypto security and make safe transactions a hell of a lot easier. On top of that, of course, we're going to be looking at this week's hottest drop, diving into who's been absolutely wrecked, and stick around to the end to find out exactly where we'll be blowing our ETH this week. But before we dive into today's episode, if you're interested in NFTs and Web3 as a whole, here at The Scoop, we keep on top of the markets daily, so you don't have to. Consider us your personal filter, cutting through the noise and delivering you the stories that matter. Make sure you hit that bell down below so you don't miss a beat, and if you want your updates earlier than a cliched NFT meme, get yourself on the exclusive Scoop newsletter list for direct updates straight into your inbox. So what's been going on in the market this week? Well, crypto markets have been ripping hard with altcoins popping left, right, and center. One particularly notable one, of course, is Matic, the native token of Polygon, which has rocketed up 29% due to the recent announcement that they'll be powering the technology for Meta to buy, sell, and display NFTs on Instagram. More on this in a bit. Barbell, the NFT slayer, he's back. What's going on, man?
Yeah, just got back today. NFT London. It was pretty good experience. Yeah, first big NFT event for both myself and representing the Scoop. But it was good. It was high energy, tons of innovation going on. And yeah, I'll tell you what, the NFT scene know how to party. They really do. It felt like I was in a bloody tech house rave at some points. We went to a great event. It was underneath London. I think it was on Oxford Street. It was on Oxford Street. It was in the Flannels. For those of you listening in the UK, you'll know what Flannels is. It's a luxury clothing store. Downstairs, they have just a big warehouse, and they just absolutely kitted it out with art all over the walls. In fact, we'll put that video up there now, just to give you an idea. And yeah, so as you can see, crazy. Lots of people having a dance, rave, lots of networking going on. But yeah, great experience, and we'll all experience the same when we all head out to NFT Paris next year.
Fantastic, mate. Yeah, no, I saw your stories. It looked absolutely live, mate. And I think it'd be great if we do a little bit of a recap in Monday's episode.
Absolutely. Look forward to that, guys.
Nice. So, state of the market this week, mate. It's been another interesting week, hasn't it?
Interesting week. We have got altcoins are popping off left, right, and center. Specifically Matic. Now, Matic is the native coin of Polygon. Now, who's just partnered together? None other than Meta and Polygon. Obviously, Matic being the governance native token of Polygon. It is up 30%. I mean, people are still saying we're in a bear market. Are we? This seems pretty goddamn bullish. Look, it could be a bear market rally, but the fact that these reactions are happening to this type of news, it feels very, very bullish. Typically in these bull periods, when you get certain spikes of news, positive news, partnerships, you see these spikes. In bear markets, they don't really react too well. So yeah, it's exciting what's around the corner, I think.
So it's time for the NFT scoops of the week. And first up, Instagram are set to introduce minting and selling NFTs on the platform. Now, it's only been a month since their last big update, but in case you missed it, Meta announced that users in the US and 100 countries across the world can now connect their wallets and share their digital collectibles. Huge news broke on the night of the 2nd of November when it was announced that Meta would be introducing a feature for Instagram users that would allow them to mint and sell NFTs on the platform. Similarly to the wallet connection, this latest update will be first tested amongst a smaller pool of users before a wider rollout. Now, a really important aspect of this new feature that may have been missed amongst the excitement surrounding the headline is that Meta has confirmed that there will not be any fees for displaying and sharing digital collectibles on Instagram or Facebook, and it will not charge additional fees for selling collectibles until at least 2024. Now, they further added that neither creators nor collectors will need to pay gas fees for digital collectibles bought on Instagram. Now, just because Meta hasn't introduced fees, it doesn't mean that there won't be fees applicable. Now, it's also been confirmed that digital collectible purchases made within the Instagram app on Android and iOS operating systems are subject to applicable App Store fees. So big news from Instagram, from Meta, trading, selling, and displaying fees directly on Instagram. That's a huge move.
Yeah, absolutely whale news. This is ginormous news, Anchor. Like Instagram. I mean, how many viewers? How many users do Instagram have?
So Instagram have got a total user base of over 1 billion users. That's
1 billion.
12.9% of the entire world. More than the population of Europe and North America combined are on Instagram.
Okay.
That's insane.
The floodgates are about to open, well and fucking truly. This is huge. I've just looked as well. OpenSea, I think, it says they have 1 million registered users, but then they also have, I think, 120 million visits to the site every month. Let's say it's just based on 120 million visits to the site. And you said that Instagram have over 1 billion. So we've already 10x'd the number of monthly users to OpenSea just on Instagram. People are going to be buying and selling NFTs like this. I don't think we can. I don't think we're beginning to scratch the surface of how fucking big this is.
No, certainly from an exposure point of view, it is absolutely enormous. The question, I think, really is how many people, will actually trade given the fees that Meta impose. Sorry, that Apple impose even. About 30% trading fee.
Yeah, so I don't know quite exactly how that's going to work, but yes, for any type of exchange which Instagram will become, Apple, because that's hosted on the App Store, Apple will impose a fee. Now, whether that goes to the creators creating and listing them, I don't think it's going to actually charge individuals 30% or charge a 30% royalty on it. We shall see. But yeah, first thing that comes to mind is influencers. They're about to make dough. They're going to make serious bank. We're talking OnlyFans girls. We're talking, fitness influencers. We're talking political people. Every type of influencer is about to make serious bank selling NFTs. I think that is what's going to happen.
It's inevitable. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out, man. I mean, but look, regardless whether or not people, do end up trading on the platform itself, just from an exposure point of view, I think, just an education point of view, that is the biggest benefit that we're going to see out of this in the short term anyway.
Well, I think as well, though, what you've got to consider is what we saw with Reddit, obviously, they onboarded, 10 million users almost seamlessly within a couple months. It lends itself so well to NFTs as well, being like a photo-based app. So, it's bullish news.
Love it. Next up, the kingpins of our world, Yuga Labs, have announced a really exciting prospect that has us absolutely gripped. They want to build a truly interoperable metaverse that will allow users to play as whatever character they want to be. The idea is that a designer can create a model for the other side metaverse and then take it out to another metaverse. Or on the flip side, design externally and bring the character into the other side. This is, of course, a hugely complex ambition, but it's one that could see the other side become the most accessible metaverse in existence. So I reckon this is a super smart move from Yuga here, man. I think obviously, the popularity of platforms we've seen, like Roblox, for example, Minecraft, all these other sort of Fortnite, exactly, man. Like having that accessibility to all those different user bases is going to suddenly make the other side so much more attractive and such a more realistic proposition to people that may not be sort of native to the Yuga ecosystem. I think it's a really good move.
I mean, definitely, and I think when you've got these gaming platforms like Fortnite, like Roblox, that are essentially these walled gardens. Fortnite. Yes, the users own the assets, but do they really? If Fortnite decided to shut the game down, where are those users' assets going? Like, they're going to disappear with the game. Yuga do interoperability. It hopefully should spark a general trend amongst blockchain gaming where people's assets can be moved around. If the game shuts down, other developers can pick that up. They can start new games. They've got the network effects because they've already got people using these in-game assets. I mean, it's huge. And I don't think that metaverses in their true form can be metaverses without true interoperability. You've got to be able to float between it's got to have almost unlimited extension. It can't be in a little closed box, right? So yeah, it's super exciting to see, and yeah, great move from Yuga. It's going to be a tough one for them, but yeah, it's they've got what, a £4 billion war chest, so hopefully they can achieve that.
Deep pockets. So go on then. What would Barbell's avatar be in an interoperable metaverse?
It's got to be some jacked up legend, my friend.
It's a reflection of reality, mate. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't call me the barbell for nothing. Do your reps.
Do your reps. Don't get wrecked. And it turns out Binance has partnered with Ledger. Now, we told you before, when it comes to safety in this space, we here at The Scoop have invested in cold wallets from Ledger. No, this is not a paid ad, but purely due to their reliability and their reputation. Now, CZ, the Binance CEO, recently offered a helping hand to Twitter, and we anticipated that the news wouldn't stop there, with Web Summit being underway this week. And the news hasn't stopped. On Wednesday, November 2nd, it was announced by both Ledger and Binance that they'd be entering into a partnership with the joint purpose of enabling even more users to conveniently buy crypto. For Binance users, they'll be able to buy crypto through Ledger directly with their bank cards and have the coins go straight to their address secured by a Ledger device. And for Ledger users that aren't currently Binance users, it's now possible to create a Binance account directly in the Ledger Live app. So, mate, it looks like CZ's been on a roll this last week or so, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's Twitter now, Ledger. It's yeah, he's making moves, but he has always been a super impressive entrepreneur within the space.
Sure.
But yeah, this move it's really interesting. You know, being able to, we'll put it this way. Obviously, I'm a crypto purchaser. You're a crypto purchaser. It's so fucking annoying when you have to buy crypto and then you send it to your ledger for cold storage, especially if you're doing long-term plays, Ethereum, Bitcoin, that type of thing. Things can get lost. If any of you are listening, if you have never purchased crypto, all it takes is one wrong digit, one slip of the keyboard, and you can lose your assets. So by being able to buy crypto directly on Binance or buy it directly through your ledger, facilitated by Binance, it takes away so much headache, and it massively improves security.
Massive step up for general security, I would say, across the crypto space in general. Really,
it's a funny one. Actually, like I've sent crypto to wrong places before, but a couple years ago, before the 2017 bull run, and I actually got some of my family into crypto. Probably all hate me now, right? But yeah, so I was helping out my dad. Send some crypto, and bless him, like he's actually pretty native now to the space, but he sent on Christmas Day, he sent 1 Bitcoin to a random address, someone else's address on Christmas Day.
No.
Now, Bitcoin at the time was worth $4,000. So he sent $4,000. It wasn't a very happy Christmas for us, but it was a very, very happy Christmas. Imagine
it was a happy Christmas for someone.
Imagine that. You've just got a Bitcoin landed in your wallet. Like it's crazy. And like, oh, we tried our best to get it back, but yeah.
I mean, there really is nothing you can do in that situation, is there?
Absolutely not. But yeah, we're over it now. You know, at least it was $4,000 at the time and not like $60,000.
True.
Yeah.
Next up, it's of course time for our favorite section of the week. It's the REKT section. And well, what a story this week when interest rates are being hiked and the word recession is lingering around like a bad smell. The last thing we need is our freedom of investment being reduced and removed. Well, this is exactly what's happened in the UK with one particular bank. Santander, welcome to REKT. Customers received an email on the 3rd of November advising them that from the 15th of November, the bank will be limiting the amount that can be sent to cryptocurrency exchanges. The limits are set to £1,000 per transaction and a total limit of £3,000 in any 30-day rolling period. This isn't the end, though. They have gone on to say that they'll be making more changes to limit and prevent payments to crypto exchanges in the future. Right, mate, This is worrying times, man. This feels like a very, very slippery slope right here. Governments, banks controlling what their citizens, what their customers are allowed to spend their money on. That feels worrying.
Definitely. It's not the first time we've seen this happen. Barclays have done it. Barclays have already done it, but God, it's such that nanny state, right? They're saying that you can only spend, what is it, £1,000 every month or some bullshit. It's crazy, right? Yeah, I get it for people who might have limited funds, but what if you're a fucking multimillionaire and you're only allowed to spend fucking $1,000? You know,
$1,000 is nothing.
Exactly. But the bigger piece is it's, censoring what you can do with your money. Remember, everybody, like decentralization, Bitcoin started for this reason. It is an anti-central bank product. They are telling you what you can and can't spend your money on. Now, let's take it one step further. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, we spoke about this before. So they're already telling you and they're already limiting you what you can and can't do with your money. Now, CBDCs are coming into play. Now, here's the thing about CBDCs. They are programmable. Hear that again, they are programmable. That means that they can, within the code, tell you what you can and can't spend it on. Let's say that there's certain carbon initiatives, or let's say that you're only allowed to spend a certain amount of money on a certain car or a house. That can be programmed in, and you physically will not be able to make the payment. CBDCs are, people think that they're getting into cryptocurrencies in a very nice, friendly way. Trust me, CBDCs are government control. It is complete oversight, erosion of civil liberties. It is not right what is going on. And the fact that you're already getting emails come through from Santander telling you where you can spend your money. Yes, I get it. It might be crypto. But what if it was fucking a certain type of clothing? You don't know. What if it was Adidas, and because they were affiliated with Kanye West and the whole anti-Semitic thing that's coming out now, said you can no longer buy Adidas. Like, that is where this could go. So yeah, it's scary stuff.
Scary,
and
man.
It is the reason why, and it is important. Now, do not overlook this. Of course, this is NFT Scoop. We talk about NFTs, wag me. But in terms of actual, real shit here, it is very, very important to hold some level of assets, which if shit hits the fucking fan, you know that you've got those and they are yours and they cannot be taken away from you. So that would be my final take on that. Sorry for the rant.
No, it's important stuff, mate. Worrying times. That is fucking mad, though. Like, not even given an option to, like, sign a waiver to say, yes, I understand the risks involved.
It's saying that they know better than you.
Yeah. Disgusting, mate. Disgusting. So what has dropped out there this week? Well, of course, it's Y00ts, the highly anticipated sister project to DeGods, which sits on Solana, have finally revealed. Frank DeGods, leader of the DeGods ecosystem, has been thrown hate and shade from NFT Twitter given the delay. And well, it's safe to say that this has been a very drawn-out affair. The NFTs themselves currently sit on Magic Eden as tubes, and by owning a tube, you can use it to mint a Y00ts. DeGods is arguably the most successful project on Solana, having achieved floor prices of around $30,000 previously. The team was not happy, however, with how the Y00ts looked, so they decided to scrap them all and give the art some major upgrades. Now, there's a mixed opinion on the overall reveal. Some people feel that there isn't enough change to warrant the length of time that people had to wait. The DeGods and now the Y00ts team have always tried to tackle things differently, starting with the whitelist application process and then revealing Y00ts one by one every minute until the final reveal. Despite the hate towards the team on Twitter, they also have an extremely loyal community and fan base. The reveal today has overall ignited excitement and hype, and generally, people are pretty pumped with the outcome. Y00ts currently stand at a floor price of around 99 Sol, having held pretty well during this period. The floor price, of course, has dropped somewhat, and this is pretty standard when people see that they haven't minted a super rare and throw it to the lions. Well, time, of course, will tell, but things are looking pretty positive for Y00ts, and it is great to see hype and excitement across the space. So where would we be blowing our ETH this week? Given what we've previously discussed, we believe that y00ts would be a good place to blow, maybe not our ETH, but certainly our Solana. Yes, y00ts are on the Solana blockchain. Some have labeled this the chain for brokies. However, we disagree. ETH, of course, holds a special place in our hearts, but innovation and change cannot be ignored. Regardless of chain, the quality of the team and the project should always be considered first. y00ts are highly transparent as a group, and they literally publicly lay out their work day by day. They aren't afraid to innovate, and coupled with top-notch artwork and roaring community, we genuinely believe that the future is bright for y00ts. Now, you can likely scoop up a y00ts right now that they've revealed at a discount, or you can purchase an unminted one by grabbing a tube mint pass. Buying a tube is, of course, a bit more of a gamble. You can use it to mint a y00ts and either land a common or a one of one. Depends if you want to roll the dice. And secondly, we want to bring your attention to the Lens protocol, which is a protocol that allows developers to build out decentralized social media platforms. You have to be invited in order to create a handle, but individuals are now selling those handles that they've created on OpenSea. Look at this as a Web3 social media domain name. If you can hunt down and purchase a sought-after handle and the platform gains traction in the future, you could very well see them rocket in value the same way we've seen with domain names sell for huge sums on ENS. So, mate, the y00ts reveal has finally happened. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? Obviously, the team, wanted to make sure this was absolutely spot on. Been waiting a long time. It's finally come. What do you make of it all?
Well, yeah, do you know what? There's mixed reviews on Twitter. I think the general consensus is that people are pretty happy with their y00ts. I think generally you're always going to get hate. Always these big projects, you're going to get hate. But look, it's where would you blow our ETH again? Not financial advice, guys. You know this. You've already heard it from Anchor a minute ago. But y00ts, in my opinion, are the equivalent of Solana's Bored Ape Yacht Club. They have Dust Labs behind them. They've also got Y00ts, which are arguably the most successful project on the Solana ecosystem. The team is great. They're transparent as fuck. And look, I think they're a great opportunity in this current market to pick one up. They are innovators. You have to now look at these projects that have got solid leaders. They're innovators. They're not afraid to go against the trend. I do think that y00ts make this, and the artwork's fucking cool. They make great PFPs, which, as we know, spreads like wildfire on social platforms. So, look, where would we blow our ETH? Well, in this case, Solana. I think y00ts are a good pick. And look, full disclosure, I do own a y00ts. Not just talking my bags here. I think they're great. I couldn't give a fuck what you buy, but I do think they're a great project in comparison to the sea of shit which is out there. So check y00ts out. Let us know what you think in the comment section, and we'll go from there.
Nice, mate. It'll be interesting to see where y00ts go, of course. But not to forget, we've got another hot project this week. The Lens protocol. Obviously, this is quite an interesting one. Obviously, it's new sort of Web3 social media platform. Like we've mentioned, there's potential to see, something similar to what we saw in ENS here if you can bag desirable enough names.
Yeah, definitely. It's just to give you a little bit of background on Lens. So Lens are a protocol, and they allow for developers to build decentralized social media networks on top of that. Now, obviously, we've seen things like censorship happen in other social medias. So it's nice, and I think it's important to have these decentralized options available. Now, you do have to be invited to Lens in order to create a handle. Now, a handle is like at NFT scoop _ or at the barbell or at whatever your name is. But people are now selling these handles on OpenSea. There's some good ones on there. I think I saw Crypto Fans with an S, and they're going for like $40, $45. And look, if Lens protocol takes off, and by the way, your Lens handle will be the same. So treat it like an Ethereum ENS domain. So every platform that is built on top of Lens, your handle will be used to log into each of those social platforms. So it's like a unique identifier. So if you have a very desirable name, then they could go up in value. $40, $50, it's a small bet to play with. And also, the creators of Lens are the creators of Aave, Aave is a massively successful decentralized DeFi protocol. So look, great team, great initiative, great project, and quite a low entry point. So
it's interesting you mentioned Aave there, because I swear this week JP Morgan conducted their first DeFi transaction, and that was built off. I think they were using Aave to actually see that through. So,
oh really?
yeah, man, yeah. It's quite interesting. It's first sort of major bank to actually perform an official DeFi transaction, basically, and that was built off Aave. So.
JP Morgan, is it Jamie Dimon? He's the CEO of JP Morgan, I think. And he has been so like flippant on and off with crypto. Like, and then for them to go and do that first, it's pretty crazy to see. So yeah, hats off to JP Morgan.
How do you get invited then? Do you have to be invited by an existing user or by Lens themselves? Do we know?
I think you have to be an early adopter of some of their products online, and then you would have the opportunity to go and make a handle and play around. So just rewarding early adopters. Yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting. We'll have to check it out. Right, mate, we have got to talk about Art Gobblers. We dived into them last week in quite some depth, but there's been some pretty mad news out literally in the last 24 hours or so, hey?
Yeah. So, what is it? Justin Roiland, he is creator of Rick and Morty. Yeah. Which, look, full disclosure, I love Rick and Morty. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, so what's happened?
So it surfaced on Twitter by the looks of it that Justin Roiland had created some potentially controversial like cartoons and skits a few years ago that basically kind of involve like naked kids drowning, and like there's some other stuff referencing like child torture, and it's a bit weird, but I mean a lot, I think maybe hopefully there's nothing more to it than just some crazy wacky creative ideas that maybe have been interpreted a bit wrong, but I don't know. They seem to have ruffled some feathers on Twitter. People are kind of hating on the project, and obviously, I mean, from a price perspective, it seems to have had a pretty bad knock-on effect.
Okay, so remember, they hit literally 3 days ago 17 ETH floor.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yikes.
So we're on the 4th now. Yeah, average price. Yeah, we're around 17 ETH floor. They've now tanked to 8.6 ETH. That is a 9 ETH in drop. We've like nearly had 100% drawdown. Crazy. Well, it happens all the time, like you say. When there's money on the table, emotions run high. Money rules the world, and emotions run high. Like all it takes is for people don't want to be associated with something which may be deemed as pedophilic. And we're not saying that Art Gobblers are that.
No way.
As soon as something happens, as soon as something spirals, it causes these dumps in price.
It's a snowball effect as well, isn't it, man? Like
classic. So yeah, it's what goes up must come down, unless it's Ethereum or Bitcoin. It will.
But we're hoping for everyone's sake that's listening, you listened to the NFT Scoop last week and heeded our advice not to buy in at the top.
We did say do not buy. I bet somebody out there is aped in. But look, you've just got to be careful in periods of FOMO, in periods of hype. Take a step back, breathe, relax, namaste, and just make an assessment, because this world that we're in, Web3, NFTs, crypto, is fucking exhilarating. It's why we love it. Yes, monumental gains can be made. Life-changing gains can be made. But equally, things can turn the other way just as quickly. So
true, man. So true. And it just goes to highlight again, like it's often such a good indicator to step away. Like when there is mass, hysteria and hype and everyone's pumping a project, it's wild on Twitter. That is the moment when you should think to yourself, shit, like be careful.
And just and also, sort of stepping away from Art Gobblers a little bit here, but when NFTs go into a full bull run again, whatever categorization it could be music NFTs, it could be game NFTs, it could be the crypto bull run. When you hear every man and his dog, your taxi driver, your barber, your butcher talking about crypto, that is a pretty good in real life indicator to sell your shit and get out of there. Because when the general public know, typically you want to be going against the general consensus of everybody else. When you're hearing about it everywhere, like you say, when you're seeing hype cycles, mini hype cycles, like Angus just said on Twitter, great opportunity to take a step back, assess. Because look, the market never goes anywhere. You're always going to have a market. If you have zero position, it's still a position. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
100%, 100%. Awesome, man. Mate, as always, been a pleasure. Full of gems, mate. Full of gems.
Always full of gems. Always full of gems,
mate. That's the scoop treasure chest, mate, each and every week. Anyway, mate, we're going to dash, but don't forget, do your reps, do your sets. Make sure
don't
you don't get
wrecked.
wrecked.
Right. See you later, mate.
See you,
Bye.
man. And that's a wrap from the NFT Scoop for today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a like and hit that sub bell down below to make sure you don't miss the latest news, insights, and alpha from the NFT, crypto, and Web3 world. If you want early access and extended content from the Scoop, head over to getnftscoop.com and get yourself on our free twice weekly newsletter, keeping you up to speed with everything you need to know.